Okay, we're reconvening the Committee on Budget. We'll be beginning with agenda item number 3, Bill 26, approving the Honolulu Authority for Rapid Transportation operating budget for fiscal year July 1, 2025 to June 30, 2026. Is Director Kahikina here to testify? Hi, Director. We're on your bill. If you want to give brief comments, please do so. No comments? Okay. Moving on to in-person testifiers. Anyone here wishing to testify in person, please come forward. Seeing none, are there any Zoom testifiers?
Yes, Chair, there's Natalie Iwasa.
Okay, go ahead, Natalie.
Thank you, Chair. Natalie Iwasa for the record. Just some comments and also noting that I'm speaking in my individual capacity. I wanted to alert you to a bill that is moving forward in the state legislature. Last week, the House Committee on Finance passed SB 934 SD2 HD1. Initially, this bill was supposed to set the ceiling for transfers of the surcharge to the city on HART's behalf, so that the money coming in could be used by HART. And there's been a timing issue with it. So that's the initial intent. However, the bill was amended to put a couple of conditions on the transfers. And really, it's not possible to meet these conditions as the full funding grant agreement is currently written and the full funding grant agreement. So I just wanted to alert you to this. Be aware it does have a defective date. So if it goes into conference committee, please make note of that, as you may need to make some decisions with respect to HART. Thank you very much, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else on Zoom or on remote testimony?
Chair, there are none.
Okay, thank you. Members, any questions? Okay, seeing none, Chair recommends that Bill 26 be reported out for second reading and scheduling of a public hearing. Any discussion? Any objections? Okay, measure passes. Moving on to agenda item number 4, which is the HART CIP budget. Director Kahikina, any brief comments? Okay, thank you. Anyone in person willing to testify, please come forward now. Seeing none, any remote testimony?
Chair Natalie Iwasa, my comments are the same as what I made for the other bill. They both go together. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's noted. Anyone else remotely?
Chair, there are none.
Okay, members, any questions? Okay, seeing none, the Chair recommends that Bill 27 be reported out for second reading and scheduling a public hearing. Any discussion? Any objections? Okay, measure passes. Moving on to agenda item number 5, Bill 24, which is the issuance and sale of general obligation bonds. Is Director Kawano here? Okay, he is not. Anyone here willing to testify in person, please come forward. Okay, seeing none. Anyone else on Zoom? Okay, Natalie, please go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Natalie Iwasa for the record. So with respect to this bill, this is for the, in general, the general bond issuances. And I wanted to alert you, I mean, you may already know, but markets are fluctuating quite a bit. And what's happening is the bond market is going up. They're calling it the Trump bump. And so, you keep using these terms that for this year only, you're going to be using general funds for sewer infrastructure or sewer work. And, we've seen time and time again how things that are told to us to be temporary are not temporary. So I wanted to alert you to that. Also, with respect to the vehicles and other short-lived assets that you're putting into the CIP budget, that all gets funded by bonds, which could be impacted by the increase in the bond market, meaning higher interest rates for city taxpayers. So just wanted to alert you to that. Thank you so much, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Natalie. Members, any questions? I don't know who you'd ask, but is there any questions? All right, Chair recommends that Bill 24 be reported out for second reading and scheduling of a public hearing. Any discussion? Any objections? Okay, measure passes. Moving on to agenda item number 6, Bill 21. This is the legislative budget. Any in-person testimony? See none. Any remote testimony? Okay, Natalie, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Chair. Natalie Wassa for the record. So this is your budget. And I just wanted to make some comments. You know, you folks have asked all of the city departments to provide you details on vacant positions, but you don't even provide that in your own bill or your own presentation. And I think the public really ought to have that information. So I'm asking that you provide that information, you know, when you present this at the full council. How many vacant positions do you have? How many years go back on those vacant positions? I noticed that you have 173 full-time equivalent positions, so, you know, it could be significant, but we really don't know. And in addition, I had asked that you cut your own expense accounts. I think, you know, there are no cuts proposed for your budget. So as a good gesture, goodwill gesture, I'm asking you to make that small cut. So thank you, Chair. Those are my comments.
Okay, thank you. Any other remote testifiers?
Chair, there are none.
Okay, members, any questions? Okay, see none. Chair recommends that Bill 21 be reported out for second reading, scheduling a public hearing. Any discussion? Any objections? Okay, measure passes. Moving on to the final measure, it's Resolution 25-75, real property tax rates for fiscal year 26. Is Director Kawano here? Okay, I don't see him. Anybody else wanting to testify in person? Okay, see none. Any remote testifiers? Natalie, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Natalie Wassa for the record. So as I have in the past, I oppose this bill because, or I'm sorry, resolution, because you are taxing landlords much higher than you are regular residents and those who live in their homes. And it's a 15% increase right off the bat as soon as they go over $1 million in assessed value. That increase gets passed on to our renters. So, you know, while you're talking about all of these cuts to vacant funded positions, and no doubt some of them need to be cut, you know, you could be using some of that money to decrease the initial Tier 1 rate on the residential A from $4 per thousand to 3.5 per thousand, put it on an even par with homeowner occupants, although there would still be a gap because of the homeowner exemption. So I just continue to express my concerns about that particular classification. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Any other remote testifiers?
Chair, there are none.
Okay, thank you. Members, any questions? Okay, see none. Chair recommends that Resolution 25-75 be reported out for scheduling of a public hearing and thereafter be referred back to the committee. Any discussion? Any objections? Okay, measure passes. We are adjourned.